Okay, so for advanced players, there is a course that I would like to recommend for you today. I would call it the Advanced Worship Movements course. And in this course, we take time to look at chord usage. How do you maximize your chord usage? How do you borrow chords and movements from other keys? Because you realize that sometimes you have to borrow some chords and movements from a different key and then go back to the key that you are playing in. How do you do chord substitutions? We take also time, I think 2 chapters talking about chord substitutions, some tips in the key of F sharp, some bonus tips, the cycle of fourths movements, for those of you who want to know more about movements of chords on the cycle of fourths. Now this is the course for you. So I'll just take some time and highlight for you the chapters that we cover in this course so that you can have a taste of what you expect in the full course. But if you're interested in getting the full advanced worship movements course, I'll put the link in the description below this video. Go on the website, check it out, sample out the topics that are there, and then make a decision if you'd like to get the full course. Okay, so invest something in your learning. It's good for you, and it's also good, you help us, you encourage us to continue pouring out free content. So let's watch some of the extract of this course of the advanced worship movements.
Welcome to this third part of our DVD. Now, in the second part, we were dealing with borrowing chords from other keys. So in this third part, we'll be dealing with borrowing movements from other keys. And I'll just begin from where we left. That's the key of F sharp. So there is this movement on the key of E flat that we can actually borrow and use it on the key of F sharp. Now this movement looks like this. So this is the key of E flat. So the movement is a 5-4-3 movement on the key of E flat. So this is the E flat major scale. So 1, 2, 3, 5. So you have a 5-4-3. Or for those who are more modern, you will use this movement as a flat 5-4-3. So instead of the 5-4-3, some others use it as a 5 flat 5-4-3, and still others use it as a 5 flat 5-4-3. So it just depends with what generation of musician you are. So we'll deal with all the 3 movements and then we'll apply them in the key of F sharp. So that's the key of E flat. So we'll start with let's maybe start with the longer movement. That's the 5 flat 5-4-3. So this is how it looks like. So for the 5, you have your B flat, your F, and your A flat. Then you just have a B flat major chord. Or maybe you can add this C note to make it an add 9. So you have that as the 5. Then you have this as your flat 5. So that you basically have your flat 5 on your left hand. That's on the key of E flat. You have your A, and here you have your 6 chord. You have a 6 minor chord. So you have that. Then so again you have a B flat. Okay, welcome to this second part of our DVD. In this part we are going to learn about, like I said previously, borrowing from other keys. So we are going to do a few illustrations here and there. how to borrow chords and movements from other keys. So for those who think that they can only play in one key, the truth is you can play in so many different keys. It's just that maybe you don't know, you have no idea. But today I'm going to be showing you how to borrow movements from other keys. So I'll be using a key that most of you like, that is F sharp. And I'll show you how to borrow movements from other keys and bring them into the key of F sharp. So let's get right into it. This is F sharp. So we have let's illustrate the first chord. It's a stroked chord. So on your right hand you may have something like an E major 7 chord, and on your left hand you just have F sharp, C sharp, and E. So that makes an F sharp 7. And on your right hand you could have B, D sharp, E, and G sharp. So that's kinda a stroked progression. And that one leads you to the 4. So this is how I'm playing my 4. I have B, F sharp, A sharp. Then on my right hand I have C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, and A sharp. So, maybe you've never seen something like this. So I'll show you where we borrowed this from. This is basically borrowed from the key of B. So this is borrowed from the key of B, where we take welcome to this last video of our DVD. Now this one is going to be a bonus video. I'm going to be showing you some of the tricks I use on the key of F sharp. So a few tricks here and there which are going to help you improve your playing. So there is a movement that I like to use, and this one. See this movement? So you still have your bass note on the one, so okay, so check my fingers. Or so you can do this, or so. So maybe when you want to, when you are starting, like when you're starting a song, before you start the song, so and you're told to put the singer on the key of F sharp, that's what you do. Okay? Or maybe you can do this. So that's quite a simple movement you use. The other movement maybe I like to use is this. Still on harmonization. So maybe you want to go to the major 2. So instead of playing this chord, so instead of playing now this chord, welcome to this section of the DVD. Now in this section we are going to cover the circle of fourths a little bit. So this one is not complex. We are going to cover it in the context of this progression. We have the 7. So let's say we are using the key of G. So 7 to the 3 to the 6 to the 2 to the 5 to the 1, then maybe to the flat 7, or to the 4, then to the flat 7. So the 7 to the 3 to the 6 to the 2 to the 5 to the 1 to the 4, the flat 7. So that's basically the progression. I'm going to be covering the circle of fourths in that dimension. So the 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, 4, flat 7. So the thing is, this progression can be you don't have to play the whole thing starting from the 7 to the 3 to the 6. No, you can even start from the 6 to the 2 to the 5 to the 1 to the 4. So I'm going to be giving you a few chords you can use here and there for this section. So let's say we are in the key of G. So let's try and see what chords can we use on the 7. Welcome to this. See the 4th part of our DVD, and in this part we are going to be dealing mainly with substitutions. So substitutions, basically you can do chord substitutions, or maybe you use movements to substitute chords. So let's say we are in the key of C. So let's start with a simple movement from the 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4. So take note of the chords I'm using. From the 1 to the 2 to the 3. So the 1, you can use that, you can use that, you can use anything. I dealt with this in Voicings. To the 2. That's my 2. To the 3. To the 4. So this is what you can substitute that movement with, or maybe just making it sound a little bit fancier. So this is how you can do your 1. Then So that's how you can substitute your 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have there. So let's begin with the 1. So basically you have a C and a B on your left hand. On your right hand you have an E. You have an E, a B, and an E on your right hand. So this is how your chord looks like. Welcome to part 2 of the topic substitutions. So we dealt with a few movements here and there last time. So this time we are going to deal with other movements, as in chord and movement substitutions. So let's start with this very common movement. Let's say we're in the key of E. So we're in the key of E, and there is this very common movement people like to do. So that movement is very common. So basically what I'm doing, I'm moving from the flat 6 to the flat 7 to the 1. So that's C major to the D major to the E major. So what kind of substitutions can you use for that movement? So let's do substitution 1. Substitution 1 means you make them, instead of just playing them as major chords, you play them as major 7 chords. So that one. So play them as major 7. So basically to the C we are adding this B note. Then to the D we are adding this C sharp note. And to the E we are adding this note. So that's the first substitution you can use. Substitution number 2, let's change the bass line. Okay, so instead of playing the C in the first instance, we'll play the A. So let's see how it sounds. Then instead of playing the D, we'll play the B. Welcome to this DVD. Now, in this DVD, we'll be doing a few advanced things here and there. So, in this first chapter, we are going to be looking at how to maximize your chord usage, or maybe how you can take one chord and use it in so many different keys without changing the voicing. Okay, you can take one chord and use it in so many keys. Let's say this one chord on the key of C. It doesn't have to be just that. You can use it in so many other places. But for learning purposes, I'm going to use another chord. I'm going to use this particular chord. It's a G minor 11th chord. So we have a G on your left hand, an F, and a B flat. Then on your right hand you have D, F, A, and C. So we are going to take that chord and use it in, I don't know, so many other different keys. So just the way it is without changing anything. So there are those who can't be able to do this extension. You can either do this for those who can't extend, or maybe you can do this. So it doesn't really matter. So for those who can extend, do that. For those who can't, that or that. So G is our bass note. That's why I started from there. So let's start with this chord. The first time I learned this chord as a 5 on the key of C. So on our C major scale, we have 1, 2, 3, 5. G is our 5. So, and you may be asking, okay, how do I use that as a 5 on C?